To achieve these immense potentials in agriculture, we have to combat reducing soil fertility, deteriorating climatic conditions due to global warming, and reducing farm sizes. We must determine application of appropriate fertilizers. Already, the fertilizer subsidy program has borne fruits of expected bumper harvests that will lower the cost of food. In the first round, we reduced from Kenya shillings 7,000 prices to Kenya shillings 3,500 for the 50-kilogram bag of fertilizer. Consequently, we expect 41.2 million 90-kilogram bags of maize. That is a 31% increase from a long-term annual average of 31.3 million bags. In the coming short range planting season, we intend to bring the fertilizer down to 2,500 shillings a bag. For the long-term stabilization of fertilizer prices, the government is encouraging investment in manufacturing and blending in Kenya instead of importation dependence. We are seeing challenges globally. The war between Russia and Ukraine has made it extremely difficult for the supply chains in matters like fertilizer, and lately we have already seen a spike in the prices of wheat products because of matters that are way beyond our hands. So we must prepare ourselves to mitigate against those risks, and the only way to do so is to increase production in Kenya, in our own shambas, in our own villages, so that we can surmount some of these challenges. Indeed, when the drought was there and the COVID pandemic, we suffered. Our maize production was way below the normal situation. But you can see with the aggressive campaign and with the support at the farm level, we are now going to realize an increase, projected increase of 10 million bags. 10 million bags from what was there. That is 31 million bags to 41 million bags. That is a very, very significant development, and it will contribute tremendously to the income of the farmers and to stabilizing food prices. Also of interest in this region is that cotton production, which was our pride here, declined from a peak of 30,000 metric tons, which is about 70,000 bales, in 1986, to a meager average of 2,000 metric tons or 10,000 bales in the last 2 years. The annual lint consumption by the textile mills is estimated at 8,000 metric tons or 41,000 bales. Meanwhile, Kenya has a potential to produce up to 37,000 metric tons. That is 200,000 bales of lint annually from 385,000 hectares of land suitable for cotton growing. The good news is this: the government will subsidize inputs, revamp extension services, establish industrial sheds for garment making, and resuscitate cotton ginneries. The initiatives will increase cotton production to 107,000 bales by the year 2025. That will boost household incomes, increase manufacture of textiles and apparel products, achieve Kenya shillings 150 billion worth of exports, and reduce imports by 50% in the next 5 years. As a commitment towards achieving these goals, the government has allocated 120 million Kenya shillings this financial year to purchase cotton seeds and for farmers' capacity building. The government will construct 100 mega dams and a further 1,000 uptake dams in parts of the country so as to increase irrigated land to 500,000 acres by the year 2026. Through this initiative, we intend to achieve food self-sufficiency and save 87.5 billion Kenya shillings on food imports and create 3 million new jobs. This speaks to the Western region as a whole in increasing production of rice, sugarcane, maize, beans, sweet potatoes, poultry, and fresh vegetables. We also must tackle the issues of climate change. We share the hills together with Kisumu. The hills here, they are now stones. When you look at what used to be a forest when we were much younger, you now see bare rocks. I want to appeal that the county government of Kisumu and the county government of Vihiga and this entire region, we pull together so that we can restore the forests of those hills, which were a very critical ecosystem. Very soon, just the way we are seeing promotion of areas like Elgeyo Marakwet, Iten, as the land for what you'd call high altitude training and athletics, we have an opportunity to create these hills as the low altitude area for athletics and growth of sports by revamping the ecosystems in this area. So we have a lot of work to do, and we can only do it by working together, reaching out to each other, and promoting stability in our country. Over-relying on food imports not only strains our foreign exchange reserves, but also predisposes our country to food insecurity and impoverishing our farmers. We therefore have no option but to urgently become self-reliant by increasing agricultural production. Under the whole of government initiative that obliges all governments to deliver as one, the national government is currently collaborating with county governments in implementing initiatives to increase production and productivity by supporting farmers with high-yielding seed varieties, increasing mechanization, control of pests, and strengthening farmers' groups and cooperatives. Kisumu County, for instance, should become a leading producer of edible oils. In addition to vegetable oil processing, the edible oil value chain feeds into the cosmetic, pharmaceutical, and food processing industries. Kenya's annual consumption for edible oil is estimated to be more than 900,000 metric tons, with a mere 80,000 being sourced locally. We import 95% of our vegetable oil, valued at Kenya shillings 100 billion, yet this region has the agroecological conditions to produce these oils and pump some of these 100 billion Kenya shillings into the pockets of local people here. Kenya has become, in this region, the largest exporter of products to the United States of America. The US is now taking from Kenya about 700 million US dollars worth of exports, which means it has become the largest single export partner for Kenya. And a window that is available in this region is cotton in particular, where we can benefit from the AGOA program and enrich the farmers in this area.
Sir, the national government continues to implement key programs while formulating favorable policies to ensure a food secure nation. It is imperative for stakeholders in the agricultural sector to note that for sustainable food and nutrition security, elaborate measures to mitigate food security must be put in place. The society shall continue to use as a source to support the national government's agenda on food security and the climate smart agriculture program.
Allow me to end my remarks by highlighting some of the projects and programs the government is implementing to address specific agricultural needs in the county of Kisumu. As indicated earlier, we have the capacity building project for enhancement of rice production in irrigation schemes, whose objective is to increase rice production and to disseminate appropriate techniques in rice producing. The project is being implemented in the rice producing sub-counties of Muhoroni and Nyando. Secondly, the empowering novel agribusiness-led employment for the youth program, or Enable Youth. The project aims at skills acquisition for youth to become owners of profitable agribusiness. This will be attained through the Youth Agribusiness Incubation Centers. Thirdly, Kisumu is among 27 counties benefiting from the National Value Chain Support Program, whose objective is to enhance sustainable food and nutrition security, incomes, employment, and wealth creation. And finally, the crop insurance program, whose objective is to manage risks and losses amongst smallholder farmers and increase their productivity. I encourage the people of Kisumu to embrace these projects to realize their full benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, may I reiterate that the government is alive to the aging farming population. I urge the youth to venture into agriculture because incomes from agriculture and related activities are expected to increase. With the increase in technologies in agriculture, as exhibited in this show, young Kenyans should take advantage of these innovations to make farming a profitable career. Take time to learn the new methods and technologies and use the knowledge to invest in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, let me pronounce myself on the sugar industry debacle. The sugar industry has been very important to the country and more so the Western region in terms of income and employment. This industry is, however, bedeviled with the existence of old mills, high indebtedness, managerial incompetence, and cheap imports competition, among other issues. Last year, we produced only 800,000 metric tons against a national consumption of 1 million metric tons. The greatest concern at the moment is the acute cane shortage, leading to closure of sugar mills. This has been inevitable given the motivation of farmers who are owed millions in unpaid delivered cane and have stopped growing cane. These historical difficulties together with a global shortage, have resulted in increased prices from an average 6,200 per 50 kilogram bag last year to Kenya shillings 7,245 today. We must be honest that scarcity of the commodity is the cause of the current high prices. We must also be honest that there are no easy solutions to long-standing issues aggravating the sugar industry. We have a national problem that requires leaders to engage for a lasting solution to the hindrances the industry faces. There are no easy options. If one option cannot work, we must bite the bullet and take the other. We must increase production in the livestock and subsector to achieve local market saturation and competitive exports. The government therefore intends to set up a Kenya shillings 400 million plant to provide semen to dairy farmers at 1,500 shillings, down from the current market price of Kenya shillings 7,000.